Hey, Pascal here, nice to see you again on my channel, and today with a little tip that makes your footage look better always, and I would actually say a lot better. And it doesn't matter what camera you use. You can use a GoPro, you can use the Osmo Pocket, you can use a mirrorless camera, your drone, whatever you want, it always makes your footage better. So keep watching. The tip that I want to give you here is actually about what I'm doing right now. I'm here in Sidemen. This is a place on Bali, and it's pretty nice here. You have rice terraces everywhere. It looks incredible, and it is not as touristy as the rest of Bali, like especially the south of Bali. I mean, like the north is not that touristy as well. And to make sure that the videos that I shoot here, especially for my drone, look the best, I went here in the morning, and that is like the biggest part of the tip that I want to give here, but I want to go a bit deeper into that, because simply when you want to get great videos, you always have to need to have good lighting. So when you're in a studio, of course you can control the lighting, but what we're doing here is travel videography, so we mostly have absolutely no control over our light. And that's why it's usually best to choose lighting conditions where the sun is a bit lower, so either the sunrise or the sunset. You probably heard that before, but as mentioned, I want to get a bit more into detail here. So why do I choose the sunrise instead of sunset? I mean, sunrise always means that you have to stand up early. I got up at 4:20 today because I had to drive 1 hour to go to Sidemen here. And yeah, of course, with sunset you can sleep as long as you want basically, and it's everything a bit easier, right? So why would you do that? Why do you want to go for sunrise instead of sunset? Sunset is the problem at first that when the sun is down, it's down. There's no light anymore, so you basically have to stop shooting. And as long as you don't want to get any nightlife shots, then it's over. And in sunrise, when the sun is up, you don't have the perfect lighting then anymore, but at least you can get some more shots. And that's pretty important, because sometimes just filming a sunrise is not enough, right? Sometimes you just want to get some more B-roll shots around, you just need a bit more time, or you want to shoot a vlog like I'm doing right now, and all of that you can't do when the sun is down. So this is actually a big reason directly for sunrise, but of course there's a lot more to it. And the next reason why you should go for sunrise instead of sunset is simply that, in my opinion at least, it's more beautiful. Of course, with a sunset you usually have a bit a bit warmer light. In the sunrise it's usually a bit colder, I would say. Like, it looks fresher. It's hard to explain. But for what I also like is that, for example, you see that behind me right now, in a lot of cases you have some fog in the air in the sunrise, and that always looks so good. I can blend in some footage here of the sunrise today. Of course, I'm on Bali and it's rainy season right now. That means that in the evening it's usually raining, and sometimes also overnight, but then in the morning the clouds are all gone and the sun is shining, and because of the fast temperature change, then you get all the fog in the air, and that looks amazing. And it's not just here on Bali or in tropical countries. You can also find around the same in other countries. For example, in the winter in Germany, I once got a very nice drone shot. It was actually close to my parents' house, so usually a boring place where it's nothing interesting actually. But on this morning I just decided to go out and catch the sunrise and get some drone shots there, and it looked incredible because there was also a bit more fog in the air, and it made it more beautiful. So in my opinion, at sunrise really the world is a bit more beautiful than on sunset, even if the sunset of course is also nice, especially for beach shots. Do I actually look like shit? That's also a downside when you have to get up early, especially when you drive motorbike and have your helmet on. And yeah, I would say like this were the main advantages, and the one disadvantage, like we're standing up early of course, for getting the sunrise. But apart from that, I also want to give you some tips on how you can get the most out of the sunrise. And the first tip that I have here for you is that you should use the angle of the sun to your advantage. Because, for example, you see that right now the sun is directly behind me, and I have my face directly in front of the camera. So what you can see is probably, I cannot really see that on my display right now, but you can probably see a silhouette around me from the sun. and I also exposed more for my face so that my face is not too dark. I used my histogram and also the zebra for that. In that case, it's totally okay that I cut the sky out, that it's a bit too bright. It's totally okay to overexpose because my face is important. And I would say this kind of shot, of course, right now it's not professionally filmed. I cannot see myself perfectly, so it probably wouldn't look as nice as if I would film another person. But this is usually a nice shot, simply because you have this nice silhouette of the sun around the face, and also the face itself is usually well exposed, and it's a bit more equal. So that looks quite nice. You can really play around a lot with the angle of the sun simply because it's low and you can put it behind objects. Another thing here, how you can play with the angle of the sun is, for example, when the sun shines into something. For example, here is the Mount Agung volcano in the background, and I was actually here last week already. Today we had a bit of clouds in front of the sun, so the light is a bit soft. It didn't really work out today, but last week the sun was perfectly shining onto the volcano, and that looked very nice. And that's actually why when you shoot a sunrise, you should not just shoot directly into the sun, also look a bit around, especially when you have a drone. Like, sometimes look in the other direction, and it might be that you actually see a lot of other nice shots. So like mentioned, in that case, the Agung volcano here, I will blend that shot and that looked really cool. And also sometimes when you film completely away from the sun, you can also, like, especially with the drone, fly over the shadows of all the trees and so on. Like, this looks really cool. I also got some shots in the morning. There was actually flying into the sun, like filming into the sun, but I also got those nice shadows there on the ground. That looks always nice. So the angle is really a huge advantage in the morning. You can do a lot with it. And actually right now I can see myself a bit better in the screen, and here you can see the silhouette of my face a little bit. I like that. Like, this kind of shots really look cool. But of course you can get even more out of a sunrise. Usually what you do when you shoot a sunrise is that you get wide angle shots, right? You either have a wide angle lens or you use your GoPro, even though Osmo Pocket is a wide angle camera basically. And your drone also usually has a wide angle camera. But you should also get some more narrower shots, some close-up shots of things. For example, in the morning what you can see a lot is that the plants have some water drops on it and so on, and that really gives it this nice fresh morning look that I really like. So try that out. Try to film some objects a bit closer, especially when you see something like that here in the rice fields. Like right now they are gone, but I can also blend in some shots. There are always the water drops in there, and that looks nice. So go a bit closer to the objects and try to capture those things. And especially if you're a travel vlogger, or I don't know, you make some documentaries or anything like that, then what's also nice about the sunrise is that this is the time of the day where everything gets to life. Like, the people are getting up and they leave their homes, they go to work. Especially here in places like Bali, you can see all those farmers in the morning, like, meeting each other. They have their markets open, and they also like go into the rice field starting out, and that are really great shots. Like, when you just get maybe 3 or 4 shots of that, and you find a good way to implement that in your footage, then everyone directly gets the idea that it's morning and all the people going up and so on. Like, this is really nice for storytelling actually, because over the day people are already doing their stuff. They are just doing, but the beginning of the day is really where everything starts, and being able to implement that in your video directly gives it a bit more story. And another tip that I have here, and that is really a good one, is when you want to get maybe a time-lapse or a hyperlapse of a sunrise, you usually have the problem that you don't know exactly where the sun will go up. You can guess it, of course, but it's not that you can perfectly see it on the skyline always. Like, sometimes you see it, but not always. And there's a nice app for that. This app is called Sun Surveyor. It costs like $10 or $12 or something like that. But this is really a great app that I usually use when I want to shoot a time-lapse of a sunrise. And what this app does is that it simply takes the image of your camera live and it applies some augmented reality on it so that it shows you perfectly where the sun will go up. So definitely get this app. It's also nice for planning your shots because it has a map where you can see where the sun is going up in what angle and where it's also going down. So you can actually plan your day with that app and see, okay, the sun is going up there, so maybe there's a mountain or whatever in the background, so you can see exactly where the sun goes up and where you want to place your camera, where you want to be at the sunrise. That's really important, and that really helps a lot to plan everything in advance. So the reason why I did this video was really that I wanted to show you that the camera at the end is really not that important. It doesn't matter if you have a cheap camera like an Osmo Pocket, or if you have an expensive camera like an Arri or the GH5 or whatever. I wouldn't actually say that the GH5 is expensive, but it's definitely more expensive than the Osmo Pocket. But what's much more important is really the light, and as a travel videographer you're not in a studio, you cannot control your light as much, so you have to make sure that it's great, and your light is usually great at sunrise or sunset, and sunrise is usually the better option. So if you want to get great shots, then definitely put in the work, get up early, and yeah, get nice shots. And another advantage is actually that when you get up early for sunrise and you get your shots done, you have so much time over the day. Like I got up at 4:20 today, I arrived here at around 6 o'clock, and now I think it's 7:30 or 8 or something like that. It's usually even earlier. It's it takes a bit longer now because I'm vlogging, but usually I'm already back at my place at 7:30 or 8 o'clock or whatever, and then I can start working, and that usually means that my work is done at maybe 3 or 4 p.m. so that makes me more productive at the end. So again, really get up early and put in the work, and your shots will be better, you will be more productive. It just makes your overall day better. Hope you liked that video. If yes, then please hit the thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe for upcoming videos. See you next week.